The Galactic Zoological Institute's newest exhibit had become a nightmare. Director Zixthor stood before the reinforced viewing chamber, all four of his eye stalks drooping in defeat as he watched the creature inside demolish yet another environmental enrichment structure. "Impossible," he muttered in Standard Galactic, his translator chip struggling to convey the depth of his frustration. Absolutely impossible. The creature, a Vorathian apex predator from the death world of Varathis 7, had been the pride of the Institute's collection. Standing 12 feet tall with obsidian scales, razor-sharp talons, and a bite force that could crush starship hull plating, it was considered one of the most dangerous organisms in the known galaxy. The acquisition alone had cost the Institute 3 years of funding, but the creature refused to adapt. It attacked handlers, destroyed equipment, and had already put 7 staff members in medical stasis. The board had given Zixthor 1 final week to solve the problem before they'd have to euthanize the specimen. A PR disaster waiting to happen. "Director?" A soft voice interrupted his thoughts. Zixthor turned to see Elsa Chen, one of the 2 humans on his staff. She stood barely 5.5 feet tall, holding a datapad and looking remarkably unconcerned about the raging monster behind the reinforced glass. "Ms. Chen." Zixthor sighed. "I'm afraid we're out of options. The creature is simply untamable." "With respect, Director," Elsa said, her lips curving into what humans called a smile, "you haven't tried the human approach yet." "The human approach?" Zixthor's eye stalks perked slightly. He'd hired humans precisely because their species had a bizarre reputation across the galaxy. They came from a death world called Earth, yet somehow they'd domesticated dozens of their planet's predators. "What did you have in mind?" "Give me 72 hours with the Vorathian," Elsa said. "Me and Verk." Zixthor's eye stalk swiveled to the muscular human male who'd just entered the observation deck. Verk Singh was the Institute's maintenance chief, a broad-shouldered man with a thick black beard and an unnervingly calm demeanor. The 2 humans exchanged a look that Zixthor had learned to recognize. They were about to do something either brilliant or catastrophically stupid. The board will never approve. "The board doesn't need to know yet," Verk said, crossing his arms. "You said it yourself, we have 1 week. Give us 3 days.
If we fail, you're no worse off than you are now." Zixthor considered this.
Humans were classified as a Category 4 risk species by the Galactic Council, unpredictable, stubborn, and prone to surviving situations that would kill any rational being. But they also had an uncanny ability to bond with other species. 72 hours, he agreed. "But I'm keeping security on standby." "Fair enough," Elsa said. "Oh, and Director, we'll need a case of Earth beer and access to the creature's dietary records." "Beer?" Zixthor's translator struggled with the term. "It's a human thing," Verk said with a grin. "You'll see." Hour 1 began with Verk sitting cross-legged outside the Vorathian's enclosure eating a sandwich. He didn't look at the creature, didn't acknowledge its threatening postures or its guttural roars. He just sat there, radiating calm indifference while monitoring his datapad. The Vorathian, unused to being ignored, eventually settled into a wary crouch, watching the human with predatory focus. By hour 6, Elsa had joined him. She brought blankets and a portable heater, creating a small nest of comfort just beyond the energy barrier. The 2 humans talked quietly, occasionally laughing at something on their datapads. The Vorathian's aggressive displays decreased by 30%. "It's confused," Verk explained to Zixthor, who watched via security feed. "Every handler it's seen has been terrified or aggressive. We're showing it something different. We're not prey and we're not threats. We're just here." Hour 20 brought the first breakthrough. Elsa tossed a chunk of protein into the enclosure, not toward the Vorathian, but casually, as if she'd simply dropped it. The creature approached cautiously, sniffed the offering, and consumed it. Elsa didn't react, didn't make eye contact. Just continued her conversation with Verk about something called football. By hour 48, the Vorathian approached the barrier whenever the humans arrived. Its posture had shifted from aggressive to curious. Verk began a new protocol. He'd enter the feeding airlock, place food down, and immediately leave. No prolonged presence, no demands, just consistency. "You're teaching it routine," Zixthor observed. "And trust," Elsa corrected. "Same thing we did with wolves 20,000 years ago." Patience and predictability. Hour 65 marked the moment that would become legend in the Institute. Verk opened a beer, The fizzing sound caught the Varathian's attention and took a long drink. Then he did something that made Zixthor's blood run cold. He entered the enclosure. What is he doing? Zixthor shrieked, reaching for the emergency protocols. Wait, Elsa said calmly, her hand on his appendage. Watch. Verk sat down in the center of the space, about 20 feet from the Varathian. He placed the beer beside him and pulled out a small harmonica. Then he began to play, a slow melodic tune that echoed through the chamber. The Varathian tilted its massive head, scales rippling with colors the Institute had never documented before. Slowly, impossibly, the creature approached. It sniffed the air around Verk, its nostrils flaring at the scent of hops and malt. Then it sat. Verk continued playing, his posture relaxed, his breathing steady. After 5 minutes, he slowly extended his hand, not reaching toward the creature but simply making it available. The Varathian leaned forward and pressed its snout against Verk's palm. Impossible, Zixthor whispered. Nah, Elsa said, grinning as she cracked open her own beer. Just human. 3 months later, the Varathian exhibit became the most popular attraction in the galaxy. Twice daily, Verk or Elsa would enter the enclosure for enrichment sessions that included music, play, and what humans called belly rubs. When journalists asked Zixthor how humanity had achieved what every other species deemed impossible, he could only repeat what Verk had told him. We're from Earth. Everything there wants to kill us, so we learn to make friends with it instead. It's just what we do. The Galactic Council updated humanity's classification to Category 5, inexplicably successful.